This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out here in Belfast. Eddie, it's a huge week of boxing ahead here.
And your first time ever on a plane?
Yes, first time ever on a plane in my 19 years. I've never been on a plane until...
How was it?
Good. I actually thought it wasn't...
Did you shit yourself a little bit, or...?
Yeah, no, I actually was.
Taking off, like...
Not literally shit myself, but like... Yeah. I was a bit petrified of the whole... Yeah, even just the experience of going around the airport, I had no clue what to expect.
Right.
So,
Good
I'll actually give my mum a quick shout out. Mum actually came all the way with me to the airport, took me all the way to the security just to make sure... Yeah,
she came through security with you?
No, not through security with me. No, she took me to security. At that point, she can't go any further.
Right,
but no, looking at this week, Crocker versus Donovan, it's a brilliant fight, isn't it? Atmosphere is going to be electric.
Yeah.
Just tell me about Saturday
I love being here in Belfast because they really get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know that a bit like Liverpool, right? If it's an average show, it will sell 3,000 or 4,000. If it's an unbelievable night, it will sell out. And we've got 200 tickets left, and it will be 8,000 sold out. The atmosphere will be absolutely mental. And it's not just a great main event, it's a great card. Like, loads of 50-50 fights, and that's what we want. And really excited for Saturday.
Did you expect the fight to be as well received, not just by the pure box fans, but just by the Belfast people? Did you expect it to be this well received by them?
Probably not, if I'm honest. Like, when we originally booked the venue, we were only allowed 4,000, and I thought that'll sell out quick, but it's a good number. Sold out really quick, and then we sort of pushed the venue and said, come on, can we open it up a bit more? Because they've got an event the next day, and they didn't want to open too much of the arena. And then they allowed us another 1,500, and then another 500, and then we just kept on selling. And that was really not with giving the fighters that many tickets, if I'm honest. Like, it just sold really, really well. And I didn't expect it to do 8,000, no, if I'm honest. So that's a even bigger result, and the fighters get the chance to fight on a memorable stage at the weekend.
And also a final eliminator for the IBF welterweight world title. A massive, massive opportunity for both. Both believe they can be world champions. They have great teams behind them who are very confident. Will the winner genuinely be next for that world title? And will it be Boots Ennis for him?
Well, I mean, firstly, the winner will be called straight after the winner of Boots against Stanionis. Now, you will have 2 belts. You will have probably 2 mandatories. I think there's a very good chance, especially if Boots wins that fight, that the winner of this fight fights for a vacant title. And if that's Crocker, it could well be in Belfast. And if it's Donovan, it could well be in Limerick. So you're not talking about the Bantamweight World Championship. You're talking about the Welterweight World Championship. You're talking about a division with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Boots Ennis. Like, you're going to be lining yourself up for massive nights. And, it's life-changing for both. So I don't know what, hopefully, should he win, Boots will do. Could fight Teo, could try and unify again, could move to 54 to fight Virgil Ortiz. But, he's going to be looking for big fights, and there's a chance that this title could become vacant.
Absolutely. We have to talk about last night. The announcement tour started, or press tour, for Ben Eubank started, and it was a very lively one, I have to say. I don't really think anyone expected what happened at the end there. Obviously, emotions were very high. What was going through your head in that initial moment of when
Honestly, I thought it was a glass. Like, that was the first thing that I thought. The noise and the kind of shattering. Like, I would never expect it to be an egg. When you hear that noise and you see someone getting punched, you don't go, oh, it's an egg. I just thought it was like a glass or some kind of bottle or something. So when that happened, I was really angry, if I'm honest, and still a little bit angry because I don't like the fact it was premeditated. Like, if you have a bit of argy-bargy, it just happens, but not to sit there and go, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this up and I'm going to hit him around the face with it. So that's what I wasn't mad on. When it first happened, like, Nigel Benn slipped round the back, and I was kind of going after Nigel and, trying to get down there, but couldn't really get down there because Shalom was in the way. I had to try and get rid of him, and then also the security was holding me back, which was like impossible to move. These lumps, it's mental. Like, you're in a straitjacket, because I was trying to get hold of Nigel Benn, who had Eubank, So yeah, it was a bit of confusion really as to what it was, and I don't think until we turned round and then looked on the floor, that was when I realised it was an egg. And it was just like, I get it, I guess part of me as a promoter, Tickets are going to sell faster. It's on the front and back page of most newspapers today. Is it what we want for the sport when we're working hard in the community and we're trying to, like, I don't know. But it's Eubank, isn't it? You know, it felt a bit Misfits, which I'm not sure is the vibe.
Yeah.
But people, I also understand is people love it and goes viral and the numbers were huge and the fight's going to be even bigger than it was before. But yeah, well, I wasn't over the moon with it.
You mentioned you thinking, or Eubank probably having it premeditated and knowing this was going to happen. Do you genuinely believe that Ben Shalom knew as well and just decided not to say a word about it?
Probably. I was a bit pissed off because we had a conversation before, and he was like, Ben was like, you know, oh, if anything goes down today, just to let you know, I didn't know anything about it. Like, this is what he said to me. And I'm like, and there's a bit of history there for Eubank press conferences, and like, if Conor Benn said to me, I've got this egg, or I've got this can, or I've got this satsuma, or whatever it's going to be, and I'm going to slap him around the face with it, I'd tell him not to do it. Because the board are going to call you in, which they're going to do for you. And it's like, and also it's not that, I don't feel like it's the look. I'm not really after that look. I don't mind you coming together and getting separated, but not to lay hands on someone when you've already got. So, like, you have to ask yourself, was Eubank the only person that knew he was going to do that? Highly unlikely. So you just hope that someone would go, nah, mate, that's not the one.
What did you make of Eubank Jr. constantly interrupting you whenever you tried to speak?
Premeditated. I mean, we've seen it before with David Hay. Like, it's old school trick. Like, you know, what we do is, like, they would have sat there and gone, what should we do at this presser? Number one, let's get an egg. Let's whack him around the face with an egg. And number two, when Eddie starts talking, just lay into him and talk over him. Like, I've been there 100 times before. I don't actually dislike Eubank. I think he's actually good for the sport. I do think, so I call it a grade A plum is what I called him. I do think he's a bit of a plum. But I do think he's good for boxing. Like, he's, you know, in a lot of ways, he's controversial. You know, he's got an interesting character, personality, whatever you want to call it. But I don't mind the stuff with interrupting me and all that. It's all like, but I wasn't mad on the other stuff. But we are where we are.
Just lastly, how hard was it to calm down Nigel Benn afterwards as well? Because we saw how frustrated he was, and understandably, when it's his son that's had a neck.
I think it was probably the confusion of what, like, whenever you lay your hands on someone, there can be consequences. Also, we didn't know what it was. We just heard this smash, crack, whatever it was, and at that point, your natural reaction is to go after the person that's done it, especially if it's your son. And it took Nigel quite a long time to calm down. I mean, if that was Nigel Benn 30 years ago, he'd be out now looking for him. Do you know what I mean? But he's calm. But yeah, you know, like, you can't undo what was done last night. So it's always going to be in the mind of those kind of people. Do you know what I mean? And that's why it's dangerous, and that's why the board, you know, they've contacted us today to say, what are your plans on Thursday? So
that's going to be my last question. Next one, what procedures are going to have to be put in place for tomorrow?
So we've said to the board, you know, our original plan was to do a press conference and a face-to-face at the press conference, and then go on the pitch and do another face-to-face on the pitch. What we're going to do now is we're not going to do the face-to-face at the press conference, but we are going to do the face-to-face on the pitch, but we're going to do it on a much wider scale with security in the middle of them, because otherwise, it's going to go off. When Conor sees him, it's going to go off. Yeah. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Extortionate security fees, then?
No, just big lumps. Have you seen the size of these people? Once they get older, you can't move. So, yeah, that's we'll make sure that's in place.
Eddie, appreciate your time. I'll see you
Happy
on Friday.
Flight back. Cheers, mate.